And we're back. Lucky thing I just walked in the door, literally. It's Gerald Glassford coming right
Hey, Joe.
from the Lakers Fast Break. Truly appreciate you joining us. It's the guys from the Lakerholics. It's the Lakerholics themselves, Lakerholics.com. Go ahead and check out what they're doing on a daily basis to drive each other nuts and also provide you the best of information on the Los Angeles Lakers right there for you at Lakerholics.com. But it's also to drive each other nuts. So the Lakers third game of the road trip comes up here in just about 6 hours or so. It is, of course, the Lakers heading into Dallas, a familiar place for Luka Doncic as the Lakers face off against the Dallas Mavericks. The Lakers are 9 games above 500 right now, battling between 4th, 5th, and 6th and 7th in the Western Conference. We'll see what happens after tonight's game. And, of course, we will also have the post game for you. But guys, I will leave it over to you as far as the Lakerholics are concerned. Reed, welcome. Good morning. Appreciate everyone stopping by. Again, the Lakers are having the kind of season that many of us on this panel predicted, which, as you know, to our fan base, to the Lakers fan base, is not exactly the most acceptable thing in the world. So with the trade deadline, before we get into the Bus family drama, the ESPN story, all that stuff right there, let's get into the nitty gritty of it all. Do you see Rob making major moves at the trade deadline? And what do you see them making it for? Because we're less than 2 weeks away. John Morant and Giannis Antetokounmpo in the span of 24 hours, both now have injuries that will take them beyond the trade deadline. Very convenient, I might add. No, I know it's legit. But it's just timing is everything as far as it's concerned. But LakerTom, I will start with you. Where do you think Rob is going to go? Or do you think Rob is just going to chill because he has a ton of cap space on the other end of the spectrum if he waits until the summer? Or if he's still there as the GM?
You know, it's really hard, even though Mark Welter owns the Lakers. We have a billionaire owner. And you watch what's happening with the Dodgers, where they go out and sign the biggest free agent out there, totally ignoring luxury taxes, just considering them cost of doing business. And you wonder what's really going to happen when February 5th comes around. Because you find out that $24 million was given to Linda and $8 million was given to Kurt. We don't know whether Rob...
depending on where you were, because you got to remember, Tom, it was dealt in Kobe numbers. So right. The CFO, right. Rob Pelinka, and the Rabbi, Linda and Kurt Rambis, they all got a sweet either $8 or $4 million
it's kind
deal.
Of interesting.
Yeah.
So the question is, who's really in charge? You know, and I think, for example, my bet, frankly, is that we're going to see a monstrous trade deadline and summer that are going to be filled with bold, wild moves like we've never dreamed of before. And we won't believe it until it happens because we've been so inured with Rob Pelinka's kicking the can down the road and saying that they can't buy a house and it's not for sale, for goddamn sakes, and all that stuff. And I think what's going to happen is that we're going to expand the draft capital we have available. We may put Reeves up for trade. We may go all in on ending up with 4 draft picks. There's a lot of things the Lakers can do that are exactly the same types of things that the Dodgers have done over and over in MLB. And there are ways of skirting around the rules and ways of doing trades that nobody's ever done before with draft picks. All we have to do is get a 27 pick, for example, from somebody. Any first round 27 pick. It could be as heavily protected as they want it. It could be protected for the lottery, you know. And it could be from the Thunder, you know, a pick that would never ever go But if we have a 27 pick, all of a sudden we can trade the 26 and 28 picks. So there's a lot of things that can happen. We can go out and do what the Suns did and trade an unprotected long-range pick like the 2-31 pick or 3 picks that have heavy protection on them. So you can break it up and split it out to people. I love the idea of just going out and trading for somebody's 27 pick and getting the 26 and 28 freed up so we can trade. We don't have to wait to draft day. So there's a lot of things that we can do. You could add Reeves into the package and you could go out there and we could have as much as $100 million in the summer, but we could also have as many as 4 draft picks going in, 4 first-round picks going into this trade thing, and $50 million in expiring contracts and up to $80 million in tradable contracts. Now we've seen the other side of that, as which KJ pointed out, which is that having a whole roster full of guys who ain't coming back and aren't guaranteed anything can have ramifications on the court, and it's pretty tough. Each one of these guys is looking at a big career. Imagine what Rui's thinking right now. What's going to happen with him? So it's I think the last 3 games have been really encouraging, especially the defense in the second half. So I'm sitting here thinking that I'm dulled by the constant Pelinka not going to act, and I don't have any trust in him. But I do think that Mark Walter put those 2 Dodger guys as advisors for a specific reason, and analytics is going to be the driver of this thing. And I think that my hope right now and my thinking right now is that we could go out and get 3 or 4 guys, and I kind of like the idea of Michael Porter Jr. as our starting forward. I'm tired of having 6'5", 6'3" guys guarding wings. I want to have a 6'10" guy guarding these wings. I think that his defense is good enough as with his height that's a key thing to add. And we need 3-point shooting. Every single game, we have 2 problems. The 2 biggest problems that we have: rim protection and 3-point shots. Every game, one of those is an issue that's killing us. We need to fix those problems, and we have the wherewithal to do it. And I don't think Mark Walter will sit around, and I don't think Rob Pelinka is the one making the decisions. So
I was going to say,
I'm going for a masterful, gigantic trade deadline moves. I think Giannis is out of the picture now. I don't think that we're going to see that trade request coming in.
Giannis was never in the picture. And we have a myriad of problems, but those
well,
are
no,
good. Those are 2
you're wrong there. I disagree respectfully, because if
the Lakers just don't have enough assets.
One thing that's not going to change. If there's one thing that the Dodgers owning the Lakers is not going to change, it's the wanting to go for the best player at every single position.
No, this season they don't have enough assets, but they do on draft night they have 3.
If they had 4 draft picks right now, they could trade for him.
No, they don't have pick swaps.
They could have 4. They could have 4.
No, they have 1,
They have 1,
and 1, 2.
They could easily.
And they have 5 pick swaps. That's what they have.
Yeah. They could also trade picks in order to get more picks.
Yes, I know they could do a Phoenix, but yes, if you want 3 crap,
or they could get a 27 pick from somebody. We'll free up the 26 and 28 picks.
Okay, well, right now they have 1-1 and they have 1-2 plus 5 pick swaps. On draft night, they do get 3, including the one that they have that they can go ahead and utilize on that.
That's what everybody's reason for kicking the ball down until it was summertime, and I don't think they're going to wait till summer.
Oh, well, that's what I asked. That's why I'm asking. So, Michael Heinrich, do you agree with Tom that Rob Pelinka, in his infinite wisdom, because he doesn't have much wisdom,
Pelinka's not making the decision I want to clarify that from my.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. But in your opinion, my friend, and aloha to you,
aloha.
If you think that the Lakers, whoever is pulling the strings at this point, whoever it is, Geppetto, who cares? But whoever at this point is pulling the strings, will they act before February 5? Just do a nominal trade for just somebody that might help along the fringes, or do you see them waiting? Like, for instance, okay, again, I'll stress this to you guys like I stressed it to many times on the show. Rich Paul cannot stand what that guy, as far as what he's saying. He just tries to muddy everything up. Way too opinionated on a lot of stuff. But the one thing he was right was when they picked up the option on the $52.6 million deal for LeBron, he did say that the Lakers were on two different timelines to be competitive now and to save the beloved cap space for the future. So, my friend, I bring it back to you. Do you think the Lakers will act now along the fringes, act at all, do a big move, or wait until the summer when they could acquire more assets on their own?
Well, I think they will try to do stuff. They're going to try, but the problem is, I like the idea of trading that future pick for more immediate picks. There's only a couple of teams that have an excess that could maybe do that. And I don't know, historically, how many teams have actually said, hey, let's go help the Lakers out? One of those teams you could see doing it would be OKC. I mean, they got more first round picks than they'll ever going to be able to do it. But will they help somebody in their own Western Conference, or will they do it with somebody in the Eastern Conference? That's the thing. So yes, they're going to try. I don't see them making any monumental moves because, as you pointed out, we have almost no draft capital. We could do something. I keep looking at Keon Ellis, possibly. It's a mystery to me why. I kind of think that maybe Doug Christie has the same kind of problem with Ellis that they have in Golden State. With
he should be playing more. He should be playing more. You're right there.
Yeah. Ellis doesn't get.
Right. You wonder if there's a personality issue that we don't know about.
Yeah. I mean, because the guy, when he plays, is good, but he's not getting run, and I don't understand that. They want to make trades, right? So you would think they would be showcasing him, but because he's an unrestricted free agent, he's not a restricted next year. So they're going to lose him for sure if they don't do something with him. So I mean, that's one guy that could help us, but you read on Bleacher Report and let's get this guy and let's get that guy, and it's like, with what? I mean, my biggest hope really would be we could help somebody else facilitate a trade. That could be something that could bring us in some help.
Move.
Yeah, we might have somebody come along that says, hey, we need to make this trade. We can't do it two-way. We got to bring in a third team. Maybe that's a way we could upgrade. But unless that magical trade for, and it could change everything if we did find somebody to give us, 2-3 first-round draft picks like the Suns. Yeah, we've got expiring contracts now. Maybe we can use something. But the problem is that you can't count on that. I mean, I would love it to happen, but and it doesn't help that Rob Pelinka is one of the most beloved general managers in basketball.
You have to get him out of the picture before you can.
Everybody hates that guy. Everybody hates that guy. The only people that don't seem to hate him is Washington. Everybody else in the league hates that guy. So
reimagine if Gerald asked the question this way: assuming that Mark Walter and the Dodgers are in charge now of the Lakers, what do you think they're going to do before February 5th? It's a totally
that's what I'm saying.
A totally different bunch of answers.
My thing is, as we stand right now, there's not a lot that can be done. But
you believe Jeannie's in charge and Rob's in charge?
I don't think it doesn't matter who's in charge. Right now, we don't have assets. So if something happens between now and then, we get more assets, fine. Then maybe something can be done. But as it stands, marginal.
Didn't stop the Dodgers.
It doesn't matter, Tom.
Well,
we have a hard cap in the NBA.
That doesn't matter too. We can still trade the guys we got for guys who are better, who make the same amount of money. Nobody gets. I mean, there's another thing that the Lakers can do, which right now teams like the Warriors have made a fortune out of doing, which is pay the luxury taxes. Go up to the second apron.
Well, Tom,
$10 million more.
Tom, they only tolerated it for so long, for so many years. They had to pay increasing double taxes. Now, this is the year where they're out. They're finally out of that second tax apron for the first time in many years.
Man. It's a trade-off. It's a trade-off in the franchise over
because they drafted Tom. They drafted well and paid their own guys.
Yep.
That's how they did it. They didn't do it any other way. They drafted well and paid their own guys. That's how they went over.
I will say this when it comes to Sacramento and Keon Ellis, because not only you, many people around the league are eyeing him as far as a trade, as far as him is concerned. So it's not just the Lakers. The reason why he didn't even play last was it the game in Cleveland, DNP, is because they have every over 30 veteran guards seemingly known to mankind on that team ahead of him on the roster, because you have Westbrook, you have,
and they want to get rid of all of those guys.
You have DeRozan, you have Schroeder, and you have Monk there. It's just like there's just no,
40 million, 30 million,
and the beloved, and the fact is, even Doug Christie, seeing how it's a miserable season, still puts so much emphasis on these veterans. He's just a terrible coach. Stop with the veterans, play your young guys. You're already losing already, but hey, he doesn't get it, and he probably never will until he loses his job there. But here today also as well, good man indeed. Our IT guy in as far as here's concerned. I'm sorry to tease you a little bit on that. It is, of course, my good friend, Mr. Jamie Sweet. Jamie, great to have you here. Well, you said you're going to give me with the political stuff later, so I just.
I'll do it at the end. I'll save it at the end so that
the fractured face is really terrific there.
So it was better. It was last week. I think he was like from the heavens. So
yeah, I found a good angle to make it. There's a crack in my phone right where the camera is, which is why I try not to use it. So,
is it true, guys, though, before I get to Jamie and the same question, is it true, because Kurt is spreading the rumor that the Lakerholics have signed with Clutch? Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Waiting for that Clutch money to start rolling in right now.
There you go. So with that, my friend, what do you think the Lakers will do over the next couple of weeks? The Lakers now, again, they're a team right where most of us thought they would be, but the impatience amongst the fan base. I don't know if they're that same impatience is among the executive branch.
For over 2 years now, it's the same place.
5th place right now in the Western Conference. We saw a story earlier this week, which we'll go into next, in regards to possible impatience and possible other things between the Buss family and LeBron and all that good stuff. But be that as it may, the trade deadline is less than 2 weeks away. What do you think the Lakers will do, or do you think they should do, when it concerns the trade deadline coming up?
Well, I mean, should and would are two different things completely. So what I think they should do is, I like Tom's idea of really, grilling OKC, trying to trade a pick this year for something a little further out, 2031, 1-for-1. You want our 2031 unprotected? We'll take this year's top 3 protected, right? Because it's supposed to be a good draft. They won't get top 3 anyway, so it doesn't matter, right? They're basically saying, right. Yeah. I love that idea. You need to look at ways to. Right now, all of our potential is 5 or more years out when it comes to draft assets, even the ones that are coming this summer, right? Nothing is imminent. And
Reeves is the only guy anybody wants on the team of all the guys we get to trade.
We're not trading Reeves, so just stop. It's just not going to happen. I don't know why
anything except our draft
postulate such an absurd theory, but I mean, whatever, it's fine. They're not trading him. They're all in on Reeves. They're going to pay him a lot of money this summer. That's why we're letting all these expiring contracts go. That's what's going to happen. That's not what I want to happen, but that's what's going to happen. All right. And so what I think, like I said, I like Tom's idea about trying to trade our picks that are way further out for picks that are closer, specifically with OKC and other teams that have been stockpiling them for years. And they won't, especially OKC. We've all said it. Everybody says it. Everybody knows it. It's not a secret. They can't possibly use all of these picks. It's financially and roster wise impossible unless they just start letting good players go, which doesn't make any sense. And they're not that kind of team. So they're going to have to make moves on that front, one way or the other, with some team or another. The Lakers would do very well to be that team because we got nothing. And I know the draft picks we get from OKC aren't going to be great, but we need to trend younger. We need to trend younger. And it's not going to happen by recycling through the free agents that we've been recycling through on our team for the last few years. We need to go for the younger guys. We need to go for, like, LaRavia was a nice surprise this season, right? Because he was a young player who has shown that he can impact winning on both ends of the floor. That is such a rarity for this front office to find. It ought to be put up on a plaque. Look for the LaRavias out there. You know what I mean? Like, that's got to be the new motto. You can't, like, we can have one or two one-way guys on the team, but we can't have 6 or 7 one guys on the team. And right now we got 6 or 7 one-way guys on the team. Guys who can either score the ball or guys who can either defend at a high level. And we need guys who are a little bit better at both. And that's what I love about LaRavia. And that's why I kind of hope he sticks in the starting lineup. I know that it's Rui's contract year. I know he's probably our easiest piece to move because he's an expiring contract at a pretty reasonable sum. But you can't just play for the trades. You have to play to win. And so LaRavia in the starting lineup gives us the best shot at winning night in, night out, in my opinion. At least in this moment in time. If Rui finds a secret pocket of aggression he's never shown us yet, and he can start hitting the glass and move it, with decisive speed the way LaRavia and Vando and Smart are able to do on defense, I'm all for it. But he just isn't that guy. He's just not that guy. He's a great spot up shooter. He's a great catch and shoot shooter. He's decent on backdoor cuts and in the post, but he's not a dynamic defender. He can hold his own against a bigger guy a little bit, and that's great.
He's just not
somebody who alters the game chemistry defensively enough. The way that he plays defense and his lack of rebounding for his size, skill, and speed is just something I can't keep overlooking at this point. Like, it's not going away. It's who he is, right? He is not a rebounding small forward. And we can't have that. We don't have enough other guys who are good at rebounding. We don't have enough glass crashers to make up for that. If you're going to start off the bench, he's fine like this. But now you're talking about almost a $20 million player off the bench who really is just a catch and shoot 3-point shooter. And there's guys you can get who do that for cheaper. So why do we need Rui? And so that's my calculus at this point is that you really have to, if the front office can do anything this season. And, Rich Paul's right. And I think we all kind of said it at the beginning of the season, and we've all said it at points throughout the season. For lack of a better word, this is a gap year. The LeBron question will continue to hang over us until LeBron retires or moves on. I don't know if that's going to happen this summer, but I kind of hope it does, just to be able to move on from it. Not because LeBron isn't good, but just to, like, put it just to move on from it. Really, to be honest, it's just I'm just kind of tired of it.
$52 million we could spend somewhere else.
I mean, it's the thing is like you can see, like, a month into his trade, he went through his training camp month. Guy's playing great. He's clearly the second best player on the team. Like, it's not even close, right? And that's with Reeves being healthy. If Reeves is healthy, I still put LeBron as the second best player on the team. But it's unsustainable. It's an unsustainable equation. You're not going to win with a starting lineup of Rui, Reeves, Luka, and LeBron. At least one of those has to go. And so in this case, it'll be Rui. We'll see what happens when Reeves comes back. That's an element that I think a lot of people have overlooked during this stretch of rough games. I know we were struggling a little bit before Reeves went down, but when Reeves went down, the offense really cratered a lot more than it had been. And the 3-point shooting went down a lot because both.
Well, it didn't have far to go. It was actually not very good to start with.
It's never been great. We've not been a great 3-point shooting team this whole season.
And we've underperformed on top of that.
And, this is, again, this is why I prefer guys. I know that, volume is the trend du jour and all that stuff. I prefer guys who make the shots. I don't much care about how many they take, as long as they make the ones they're taking or make more than they miss. And this team tends to drift too much to, well, we're shooting them, but nobody's making them. And so and then that just becomes a lack of in-game adjustments, and guys keep shooting threes, and then
that's going to change dramatically with the new ownership.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it really kind of depends on the players anybody's able to get. There's only so many. Everybody wants the same 7 players in the NBA. There's only like 7 or 8 guys that really actually move the needle. So if you're not talking about one of those guys, you're just talking about a hope situation. I hope Keon Ellis has the ceiling that we require of him to be the impact player that we need. You know what I mean? Like, same with LaRavia. I hope LaRavia can find a level of consistency with his effort and shooting that allows him to be a key contributor on a championship team. But right now, it's not happening.
Yeah.
So
here's another deal with the shooting. They have to get better at moving the ball. I mean, the last game, LaRavia hit his first 2 threes in the first 2 minutes of the game.
It went completely away from him.
They didn't give him a shot again. He got one shot the rest of the game.
That's on Luka. I put that on Luka and LeBron.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I put that on Luka and LeBron, and then a little bit after them, I put it on the coaches, because somebody's got to say something at some point. Like, hey, remember when that guy made his first 2 shots? We were all there. We all saw it. It was great. And then we forgot about him. What the hell, guys? Like, that's
same thing happens with Rui.
That's what I'm saying. That's your leadership, right? Luka, LeBron, the coaches, whoever's the most vocal guy. Those guys got to say, like, hey,
that was really inexcusable. I mean,
I agree.
Even if you go down in a pickup game,
you go for the hot guy.
Yeah, really. If you find
the hot guy,
why do you stop doing the play that's working? You just run it over again until you run it down their throat.
No, we don't play smart basketball. We're not a smart basketball team. We tend to rely, and this is, I've had this problem with almost every Lakers coach since Frank Vogel. Their offensive system overly relies on the star player. And that's not just our coaches. That's the NBA in general right now.
It's because of the star players too.
But then that's right. But then it comes down to the star player. Like, is the star player like savvy enough to take a semi back seat? I'm not saying like Lucas shouldn't shoot the whole game, or that LeBron shouldn't get his shots, but like, just don't forget about the guy. Like Michael said, the guy who made the first 2 shots.
What happened to just figuring out what's working and keep doing it?
I don't know. It's a mystery that's certainly not going to be solved on this podcast this afternoon. But that's the problem. I just don't see.
Hold on, I want to do something, Jamie. I thought that your answer, I couldn't believe how good your answer was.
Which one?
Your answer about what to do at the trade deadline.
Michael, am I in a bizarro world? Tom and Jamie are agreeing with each other.
No,
I know.
It's once a year. Once a year, the planets align, and Tom and I agree. And it's usually around the trading deadline when the hope that he felt at the beginning of the season gives way to reality, and he meets me in my pool of misery that I live in all the time.
Instead, he's jumping up and
I think we've slipped into an alternative universe here. Something happened.
Let's talk about here's the next thing that's the most important thing to do for the Lakers. What are we going to do about the center situation the rest of this year?
It's not going to change.
That's something that can change.
I don't think it will.
Because I think it's going to change.
I think we're going to roll with Ayton for the whole season, and I'll tell you why. Because he's a cheap option that's serviceable for next season if he picks up his option, which I expect he will. Because I don't think he's going to get terrible. I don't think his agent. I think if he listens to his agent, I think his agent will say, "You're not getting more than this, dude, or you're not getting more than this and a starting spot." And with the Lakers, he's getting
stuck with him next year because he's got a player option.
Well, that's what I mean. They have to pick up. He's going to pick up his option.
Well, let's get into a lot of the meat and the bones of what happened this week as far as the team is concerned behind the scenes. As Baxter Holmes from ESPN dropped a nice, tidy little article in between. I love like the timing, and the chat has already noted
tiny at all. It was long
of that article that when it dropped Wednesday morning in regards to the detail about the strife, which everybody knows about between the buses, but went more into detail, especially around the time of the sale of the Lakers, plus a little added bonus feature in regards to some reported opinions that of unappreciativeness that Jeannie says that LeBron and Clutch have because of I guess they're LeBron and Clutch. So with that, of course, LeBron says he's cool. It's all cool, and then just again, so maybe some people see it as a sign that it's finally, they're finally looking like, the breakup is going to happen. Michael, I want to start off with you first on this. Your thoughts when you read that article and from what you've seen of it since, the reactions. I know that JJ spent a whole afternoon kissing LeBron's behind about how appreciative he is. I know that Jeannie denied in a statement about LeBron. Funny how she didn't deny anything about the family strife and about what was said about the family strife. You should have never been born, et cetera, et cetera. But she said that LeBron, it wasn't true that she was mad at LeBron, wanted to trade LeBron to a place like the Clippers or something like that was reported, and that she was upset that they weren't appreciative enough for drafting Bronny, which infuriated everyone here. So be that as it may, Mike, well, what are your thoughts about what happened when you saw that article and the fallout from it?
Well, first of all, I feel like the young bus boys got the revenge on her because I'm sure they're the source.
Oh yeah, they were talking. Yeah, they were quoted on the record. Janie was on the record for a couple quotes.
Dad's rolling around in his grave over this.
Yeah,
But
the Young Bus brothers were Young Bus brothers. They're the ones that spilled the dirt for the most part.
Yeah. So it just it's just a clusterfuck,
It's the boys versus the girls. You notice that?
It really is.
Well said, Michael.
Boys versus the girls.
Well said, Michael. I would love for you to walk into the UCLA Health Center and just say that, because that's what it is.
It's just ridiculous. I mean, that's all this team needed, right? Was something like that. If there was any doubt that what's going to happen with LeBron next year, I think that's been kind of wiped away. I mean, because he said something that was, when he was saying it's all good, but he also said something, well, some people just have their own opinions, I guess,
right.
Something to that nature, and so it bugged him, just from that, it bugged him. So, I think that this is a good time, to do what Tom's been wanting to do, is boot Jeannie completely out of the picture. Say, it was fun, enjoy your billion.
They will both, Rob and her will both be gone within 1 year.
Yeah. I have no idea what's going to happen. I really don't. I just thought it was unfortunate that it had to come out during the season when, the team's already, been fighting all these injuries. They've overperformed when you think about it, with so many people being hurt, all season long. I mean, they got the only team in the basketball that's had more lineup changes.
Winning team with a negative net rating.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was just unfortunate, and I don't know what it's going to lead to. I don't think anybody's going to lose their job mid-season, but I think there'll be a big shakeup. There'll be a big shakeup this summer, I believe.
I have a tendency to agree, because it's not going to be very pretty. Once Mark Walter comes in there and really, lays a firm handprint on the organization, I would clean house. I just would clean house, but that's just me. Tom, Parade on Figueroa, adding on to this discussion, is asking, and truly appreciate him stopping by on Twitch, how much is Dr. Bus, rest in peace, to blame for the current family drama? Why did he make Jeannie the leader? And it seems like he set up the trust so that the Bus children could fight each other. Now, if you read that article, there are some components where he kind of thought some of this might happen. So he put some contingency plans into place, I guess, for lack of a better term, as far as some, buying out shares and things of that nature. But it never really came to fruition on that. I know the agreement as far as that he had with his wife, as far as not having any other kids outside the ones that they had on their own, is an issue as well, because, that's where the famous line, "You should have never been born," to the younger Buses came from. But yeah, getting back to this whole article and all the information that came from it, how much is Dr. Buss to blame for this current family drama?
I don't know if you can blame Dr. Buzz for it. I mean, it's money. Money does funny things to people, especially in families. I think that the whole thing was unfortunate. It was timed during a lull in the news of the NBA, and one thing that it did to me was it brought to reality, rather than just as a discussion point, the fact that this is LeBron's last year as a Laker. I don't think there's any. Everybody says he has four options. He's really got four options. He can retire. He can accept the salary from the Lakers for less money. He can become a free agent, or he could demand a trade right now so that he could go to the team that he's going to go to next year. If he doesn't demand a trade right now, I think that's testament that he's going to retire. So long, farewell tour. I don't think, if LeBron wins a championship, if we win a championship and LeBron plays great, that's the only way I see LeBron returning to the NBA or to the Lakers.
Okay. Well, there you have it. Jamie, anything you want to interject? Because, for lack of a better term, it sure spiced up the Wednesday morning. That's all I'll say.
Sure, yeah. I mean, that's what, I'm not surprised. The only thing that would have made this more apropos is if the article had dropped right after the Lakers had been eliminated from the playoffs. There's usually a bombshell Laker news article about 2 or 3 days whenever we get eliminated, just to remind everybody that the Lakers are still around, in case you forgot. ESPN just wants to make sure you remember that there's still a team on planet Earth called the Los Angeles Lakers, and they really, really matter. I kind of stopped putting a lot of stock into what ESPN reports a long time ago.
No.
The journalism side of that has really fallen off. It's very sensationalist, like a lot of news these days. It's focused more on the sensational than the informational, and that's unfortunate. I thought it was the younger Buss brothers, got to put out an article through ESPN. That's kind of how I took it. And that's probably a little unfair to the Buss brothers. I don't think they got a fair shake. I do think, that they probably stood the most to lose in this deal. And it sounds like in their minds, they wanted to run the team for forever. But I think that's being a little bit dishonest about how things have gone since Dr. Buss departed the planet. And so, first off, Parade seems to ignore that Jeannie wasn't in charge at first. It was Jim. it was Barstool Jimbo and his Timothy Mozgov sightings and his Luol Deng sightings and his, a bevy of other incredibly curious moves that just didn't improve the team in any meaningful way, and if anything, made us worse. So that's a caveat that people just kind of are already sweeping under the bus or under the carpet about the Buss family, and that's fine. I mean, whatever. Jim's tenure was short-lived and terrible, and Mitch, for whatever reason, wanted to go down with that sinking ship, and clearly his career's taken off after that. So everybody made great career choices in that moment. I think in that moment, Jeannie did the absolutely right thing, which was to get rid of the weakest link in the chain, which was her doofus brother. And I'm not going to lie, I don't think many of her brothers are that. The scouting department under Jesse and Joey did well. I don't know how much of that was actually Jesse and Joey, if I'm being completely honest. I mean, sure, they took some reports from other scouts and put them on somebody's desk and said, hey, these guys think these guys are pretty good. And everybody went, okay or no. And, then Rob Pelinka blew it on draft day basically every time. So there's so many weak links in the chain right now. So I tend to agree with Gerald. I don't know that meaningful change from the top will happen until Mark really decides to clean house.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's going to happen this summer. I think at best, depending on where we finish and how we do in the playoffs, at best, they fire one of Redick or Pelinka. That's the most I'm looking to I expect to happen this summer, at best. I won't be surprised if everybody comes through.
I think everybody will be gone this summer that's not going to be part of the team going forward.
I don't know that they are going to ascertain that with LeBron on the roster. I don't know that they feel comfortable ascertaining that everybody's job with LeBron in the room. And I think that's what I think the article really points at. And without really saying it, without putting it on LeBron and without putting it on the Lakers, the real issue here is that there are two competing legacies in the same room. And neither is going to cede ground to the other. LeBron's not going to let his legacy take a backseat to anybody. He's made that abundantly clear at every stop on his long and storied career. At every stop, LeBron's legacy is the most important thing to LeBron. And that's very understandable. It's served him very well throughout his entire career. He's made a lot of money behaving like that. He's won titles behaving like that. He's become arguably the best player in the NBA, playing like that. It's hard to argue with his logic. Conversely,
but he is taking a different role completely on this team.
I don't think role has anything to do with it. I think it has to come with
role,
monetary respect
number of touches, and how you dominate the game. I think LeBron has sacrificed a great deal to
Luka. Yeah, and I agree, and that's right. And I think he's just making the smart basketball move. I think that makes sense. Both
no, but it also is a smart organizational move because he wants to make LeBron wants to make the transition work. He wants to make
I think he does too.
That because that's to his best interest, of course.
I agree with that. All I'm saying is that I don't think there's enough room in the legacy. There's not enough space for both of these legacies to breathe comfortably.
Well, but LeBron has taken the scale of his legacy down dramatically on the Lakers in this season.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know if he might have done that.
You've never seen him before sacrifice the minutes and points like he did this year.
I don't think ESPN and Rich Paul is willing to do that.
He's never done that before. Look at the scoring
ESPN and Rich Paul aren't
look at his scoring averages, and then you tell me that that's the same as this year.
I'm not talking about how he's playing. I'm talking about how he is portrayed. He's playing great. I don't think anybody's going to deny that. For a 41-year-old, he's playing incredible.
For anybody, he's playing really
for anybody.
good.
Yeah, any 20-year-old just coming to the league would be happy to be averaging what Cooper Flagg would be happy to be averaging what LeBron James is averaging right now across the board. Cooper Flagg would be like, fantastic, Rookie of the Year is in the bag. So that's not the point I'm making here. The point is like everything around LeBron. Everything around LeBron is always so much louder than anything else, except the Lakers. This is what I'm talking about. There's not enough sound space for all of this noise. And so that's what we're running into here, is that the legacy of the Lakers and the gravity of the Laker franchise and the legacy and gravity of the player known as LeBron James is too much for this team. It's definitely too much for Redick. Like, he is not able to navigate the alpha personalities of all the people on the team, and it's not working. I don't know that there's not a solution for it until LeBron goes away. There really isn't. It's too much money. It's too much role. It's too much expectation, and it's warranted. Redick's not treating LeBron wrong. Like, he's giving him the exact amount of space he deserves, and I think he's coaching him really well, all things considered, for the end of his career. I think he's done everything right, but it's not enough for us to be a winning basketball team.
Well, but I think that the real problem with that is that you probably got, what do we identify? There are only 6 players that have contracts for next year. So you're talking about 9 players, 8 or 9 players who basically, most of which are one-way players that basically need to be gotten rid of. And they're going to be gotten rid of because their contracts are expiring. And that's going to open up after the trade deadline. Instead of having 10 guys worried about their own numbers and their own careers, you're going to have 10 guys who are now know they're part of whatever is going to be happening, at least for the rest of the year. And once they go through summer and free agency shuffles those people out, then you will have a group of people that you can consistently start to develop and work with as your core group of people. I think that's the goal that Mark Walter has over the next 2 big trade periods, basically the trade deadline and the summer. Whether he can accelerate and take advantage. One of them is that trading is a good opportunity right now to really get some good players. And there's a lot of potential free agents that teams would like to get something for sure, rather than losing him for nothing in free agency. I mean, the Nuggets got a real problem with Peyton Watson, and he's going to be a difficulty. The Rockets have the same problem with Terry Eason.
They won't trade them. They want to win.
No, but I think Tom's saying those are going.
Michael, I was going to bring it to you anyway.
Nope. What the heck just happened? I don't know what just happened.
When you had an issue with your internet, it kicked everybody off. So
fantastic.
Yes, the IT guy. But Michael, I wanted to get it over to you. I know you wanted to interject with this, my friend, as far as some thoughts on that. So I wanted to make sure you got in your 2 cents as well.
Well, actually, one thing that I got to say, if this team was healthy, it's a good basketball team. Can it win a championship? Probably not, but it is a good basketball team. We would be a top 4 seed, maybe a 3rd seed right now without all the injuries that we've had. Yep. So, I mean, we'd never have anybody. Our big 3 has played a total of 6 games together this year, and we're more than halfway through the season. So, yeah, this is a good basketball team. It's not a championship level team, but there's not a trade out there that's going to make us a championship basketball team this year.
I agree.
So that's my thing. I mean, it's going to have to wait for the summer. I don't think LeBron's going to be back. I just have a feeling that this was kind of he would have to swallow a lot of pride to come back now, and he's a very prideful man. So I don't see him coming back. I can see us during the summer really doing some upgrades through free agency more than trades, actually. Like Tom pointed out with Watson, the Denver is up against it as far as salary cap is concerned. And they've never been a team that's like to go over. They're over next year without, and they're losing guys, and they're going to be. So he'd be a good target for the Lakers. So there's things that we can do during the summer. I just don't have a lot of confidence that they can do. The way I look at it, going down the stretch and into the playoffs, injuries can always happen to other teams.
Somebody remind Joe that we beat Denver without Jokic.
Yeah, no, I mean, I just told Sora that he's just trolling.
In the chat? I'm what?
Like the drug test came back failed for him. He's a bad troll. He comes on and trolls. It's not Joe Sorrell himself. It's somebody that wants to troll like Sorrell.
I see.
Yes. So it's basically again, great win in Denver, but when you don't have the best player of the decade, you don't have the backup 7-footer, and you don't have their best defender.
Yeah, they're down three
let's temper these
key players.
But I think Michael hit it on the head. I think, again, and all apologies to LakerTom when I say this, the Lakers had their window to build a championship team last summer. They didn't do it. He went.
Just had the wrong owner then.
He went to the thrift shop. He got some decent values, and let's give this right. DeAndre Ayton's played okay for his $9 million. Again, he disappears some days. Some days.
So did AD for $40 million.
Well, he's there some days. He's there not some of the other days.
I think they're like 15-1 when he gets 15-10.
Laravia has been a pretty good surprise, like you said. On most days, he's pretty solid and has been a good contributor, especially thrust into the starting lineup. Marcus Smart, he has stayed much healthier than I've.
Still has the best plus minus on the team.
And then you watch him play, and then sometimes it's a minus the way he shoots the ball or takes a shot that makes you
minus on the team for the entire season.
I'll just say this about Marcus Smart: he's nice at the money that you got him for. I mean, Jordan Goodwin. I probably would have kept Jordan Goodwin over him because of Smart. But Marcus Smart, anyways. good value for what he's at. I wouldn't pay him $1 more because, when you talk to Boston fans, this is what you got on a daily basis. But the problem is he's 5 years older now, seemingly, than what he was at the height of his Boston career. So this is what you're going to get from Marcus Smart going
Very
forward.
unappreciative of the second most valuable role player on the team.
See him miss couple 3-pointers, and then you just I can see Tom hitting something there. It's like, oh, Marcus Smart.
I don't mind when Marcus misses his ball because if you don't take the shot, you can't make it.
Yeah, but he makes some
And
I know we get on Vando. I know we get on Vanderbilt for making the great play and then the most boneheaded play, but Smart does that same thing. He'll make a great play and then he'll make a boneheaded play right after. And it's just these guys are valued right where they're at. I just think that it's we need to look in different places as far as it's concerned, because we do not have a championship team on our hands. Even there's no tweaks or changes right now that are going to make the Lakers a championship team this season.
No, they got to get rid of 7 or 8 guys.
And replace not mid-season,
and that's the problem, because you have so much cap space that you can make better moves.
But what really helps it, and is a difference maker that everybody has to recognize, is free agency. Because the one thing that we did good last summer, and I think that this was also possibly an influence from the Dodgers organization, is that the best way that you can get depth is to add people via free agency, because you don't give up your draft capital and you don't have to match salary. So we added 4 good players through free agency last year, and next summer we'll be able to add another 3 or 4 good free agency players, hopefully at a higher level, guys like Watson and so forth. But when you do that, and then you limit your trades for guys that aren't making a lot of money. You don't go out and trade for Giannis making $60 million or a guy making $38 million or $30 million. You go for guys that are like Walker Kessler, for guys like Keon Ellis, that you can get, leverage your draft capital, use that on them, and don't incur a huge amount of salaries there. Get these guys who are younger, because that's what, just like Jamie said, we have to get younger. And there's no way of getting younger other than using free agency and using your draft capital to trade for young players.
That's why I'm saying Smart. You don't want to make sure you have a long-term stay with Smart, because just like you guys said.
I disagree with you, because I think Smart is incredibly valuable to this team and will be for the next 2 or 3 years.
Okay, well, fair enough. Again, it is the Lakerholics, Lakerholics.com. I don't want to make Tom angry, because it's been kumbaya so far. Jamie and Tom are getting along. I just want to keep that flowing. Guys,
I haven't talked about Jordan Goodwin yet. That's why.
Well, Jordan Goodwin at a much cheaper rate, or Marcus Smart at the mid-level. That's the choice they had to make, and they chose Marcus Smart. I would have chosen Jordan Goodwin at the cheaper rate and save some cash, because you're getting the same type of value.
They screwed up. Basically, it was a Pelinka screw-up in his whole roster construction, not to have enough money that they had to let it go.
And Tom, we can agree on that. Pelinka screwing up with roster construction. The one thing he doesn't do very well, roster construction.
I'm curious how that's his job.
Yeah, that's his job. But again, I've had back and forth with a lot of people that love and stand by Pelinka for that on the night show, and I'll just
he was Kobe's best friend. Come on,
that's right. That's right.
Well, what did it get him?
That much money for Kobe for somebody?
It got him a $24 million bonus, I believe. Or was he the $8 million? I don't know which one.
He only got $8 million.
I know
that was Rambus.
$32 million for being Jamie's.
Linda got the 24,
and Rambus got
the 8.
Yeah.
That must have been fun to talk about at the dinner table. Oh, hi, honey. You got 16 more than I did. Oh, that's great. All right.
Well, that's what being a friend. That's what being a friend gets you.
I guess. Indeed.
That's what being a buddy.
But before we head on out, guys, the Lakers are in the midst of the Grammy trip. It's funny because Lucas said, I've never been on this many games on a road trip before. And it's like, well,
every year you're going to be doing
every year, baby.
With the Grammys. Absolutely. So before we head on out, it is, of course, the 8-game road trip, and the Lakers are on the 3rd game coming up tonight against the Dallas Mavericks. 6 games left to play as far as on this road trip. It'll take us right into the trade deadline. I'm still thinking about doing a mock trade special like we did that one time, Tom. I'll let you know. I'll email you if I'm thinking that if you guys want to participate. That was a lot of fun.
I'm waiting for the big trade to happen.
I was impressed with Tom's mock trades. He actually didn't go crazy or just do all these things. He actually went in there and he actually worked with Legend. He worked with quite a few people. I was impressed. I was really impressed on that day. It was great. And I might do it again. We might do it again before said it. But this road trip, guys, takes the Lakers not right on the trade deadline, but just right before the trade deadline.
Before.
So, Jamie, I bring it to you, my friend. What do you think the Lakers will see tonight with Dallas outside of Lucas trying to score 90 on the Dallas Mavericks? And what do you see for the rest of the road trip, my friend?
I'd like to see us come back with a 2-game winning cushion. I'd like to finish the road trip, 5-3.
We're 1-1 now, right?
We're 1-1 now. So if we can win 2 more games and we lose, I would consider that a successful road trip. Any better than that, and I'll be happy. But I just the inconsistency with this team, and especially our difficulties playing playoff contention teams. We lose to contenders. We lose to contenders. We lose to young, aggressive teams with their full court defense. And so we're going to get at least 3 of those games.
We're going to beat the Mavericks, no problem.
We'll probably beat the Mavs. We'll see. I mean, it depends.
Then we're going to beat the Bulls, no problem. That's 2.
Well, no, I don't know about that. Bulls,
we'll probably lose to Cleveland because they have big size.
Well, they did announce yesterday that the game will take place tonight. I know there was some concerns with that because of what's gone on with the weather back east. But Jamie,
it's crazy back east.
I think we're going to go 6-2.
I'm sure Michael's watching all the weather back east thinking, boy, I wonder what that feels like.
Sorrow, I may change the person who needs the drug testing. I'll just on that. Michael, what do you think, my friend? Yeah. Well, no, because Tom said 6-2 on the
First of all, it's chilly here too. It's only 72. Just weather update.
You got a light long sleeve shirt on. Is that what's going on?
Right now, I have long sleeves, but I'll change out of that because it was 60. It was 68 when I got up this morning.
Sucks to be you, Michael. Sucks to be you right now. That's so terrible. So broken hearted.
As far as the road trip goes, if we're under 15 behind at halftime, we should win. If we're over that.
Why can't we play better in the first half, man?
We've been playing great defense in the second half. And this is the thing that always cracks me up about we need more defense. We need more defense. We need more defense, right? But we're getting slaughtered in the first quarter with our best defenders starting. So, it's
Vando doesn't start.
Not our best defense.
Vando doesn't start, so that's not our best defense.
Yeah, but seriously though, I mean,
a lot of it is this whole thing about players' contracts and heading into the trade deadline, because the inconsistency that we get at times is like these guys didn't even care about the game, man.
They just not getting off good starts at all.
Yeah, here's the deal with missing Reeves. We generally outscored people. We didn't hold anybody down, but we kept pace. They might get 40, we'd get 38. So that's I'm really looking forward to getting him back. They say maybe sometime on this trip.
Yes, he'll be back before the end of the trip.
Yeah, if he hadn't went out, we'd have a couple more wins.
Yeah, then they need to play him and Reeves together, and LeBron with his separate little group, along with Timmy.
Yeah, so we'll see. I think
here's the biggest question that's never been answered, which is when the trade went through first, my first reaction, and I think everybody's first reaction was the Lakers are going to be an offensive juggernaut.
Yeah.
And that's just the total opposite of what's happened. They haven't been
because we haven't had it. We've been hurt.
Well, part of it is we've been hurt, but frankly, I think we may have won more games because we didn't have the three of them
I think
together.
we're actually one game ahead of the pace we were last year,
Yeah.
if I'm not
One whole
mistaken.
game.
But I
ahead of
mean,
pace we were.
when you think about it, everybody expected that to be such an obvious juggernaut that, well, we'll just outscore people, you know? Well, man, we're not good enough offensive with those guys. We're the 9th best offense in the league.
I mean, part of that problem is missing
That's
Reeves,
the
though,
best
right?
that having 3 guys like that could do for us.
Yeah, but part of it is missing Reeves, right? Missing Reeves is huge to that because there's nobody as
I
effective
agree.
at driving
We've
to
had
the
all-
paint.
That's the one good sign for us going forward is they're the only 2 of the 3, Reeves and Luka, that had a plus minus.
Well, they were the highest scoring guard tandem in the league before
And
Reeves
they had
went
a
down.
positive, and they had a positive +7.
They had a positive plus
Here-
or minus.
Here's the deal: we've had all
Every
three
other
of them
combination
together.
with LeBron was negative.
And
We've
all the
had
injuries.
all 3 of them together for 6 total games.
Exactly. That's part of the
They had
problem.
a
The other problem is
minus
that
9.8 net rating.
but Reeves
Yeah,
is
but
also
part
the
of that
biggest
was
driver of
7.8.
They had
Reeves is
6
also the
games
biggest driver
together.
of pace. Reeves is the one who pushes the ball into the teeth of the defense more than
Here's
any other player on the team.
another stat that'll knock you out. We are dead last in field goal attempts out of
That
30
sounds about
teams.
right.
Dead
We play
last.
slow. We play slow. We're a slow
We
team.
play way too slow. We take way too long on all of our possessions.
But
We're
that's-
shooting under pressure under the shot clock, and we never, we give up points in transition that we don't get back.
Yep.
And we're not winning the free throw battles anymore. That's another big change in the last.
Well, that's an unsustainable. That's not a strategy. That's
That's a league. That's a league. Well, it is because we're missing Reeves, who's half of that.
Sure,
match.
but it's not a winning strategy. You're not going to win playoff games hoping for free throws. Like it's just not going to
Well,
happen.
but you are going to win a differential if you play a type of basketball that leads to attacking the rim. You're going to get
Sure.
a lot of calls versus being a jump shooting team.
No, but that's been the biggest drop off with Reeves being out and Smart being put into the starting lineup. Smart is much
Well,
slower.
It is,
Not-
but a lot of it is the NBA deciding that they didn't want to call those fouls.
No, I'm just talking about pace. I'm talking completely about pace right now.
Well, that's Luka.
That's Luka, that's LeBron, that's Smart. All 3 are very content in walking the ball up the court. And
They waste
standing-
15. My biggest complaint about JJ's offense is they waste 15 minutes just passing the ball around without any action really happening.
I don't
Or
know
don't
what the
pass
offense
the ball
is.
around. They have dribble it. One guy
I don't-
dribbles it for most of the shot clock, and then they try to do something.
And then there's a pick and roll action somewhere on the court, and somebody does a kick out or takes a shot. It's there's not an offense. I don't know why anybody. There's most teams in the NBA right now don't run an offense. Like,
And that's always been the problem with how do you call plays when you got Luka and LeBron, because they're going to freelance a lot no matter what you do.
there's somebody has to have the force of personality to deal with it, and it's clearly not JJ Redick. But I'm not even saying that he can't learn. He could.
Well, I
learn
don't
to be
know.
that guy,
The other day,
right now.
JJ came out and basically said to Luka, "You better pass the ball more."
I mean, great. I'm sure he says it a lot.
Yeah,
But
we'll see how that goes. Let's see.
it's not going to go. It's not going over well so far.
Well, again, as of now, guys, the Lakers are playing the Mavs later today. I know that already there has been notified. Shams just tweeted out there that the Warriors game has been against
Canceled.
Minnesota. Yeah, that's been rescheduled
Well,
to Sunday.
There's a different reason for that.
Yeah, well, that's true about that one. Yeah, but as far as that's concerned, as far as the weather is concerned, the Lakers are still, as of this point, going to go ahead and be in Dallas. And so we'll go ahead and cover the post game for you right there for you after the game. So join us for that. But before we
Minnesota, where you don't just slip on the ice, it shoots you in the face.
yeah, I know. Absolutely. I knew you were going to get that in there.
There's more.
I know there's more. And I guess it'll come right now. But before we get to that, stuff that I don't actually want on a sports show, but
we don't have to talk about it.
You know what? I respect you enough that I'm going to give you time to go ahead and say it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Michael, I want to bring it to you first, my friend. Any last thoughts on the Lakers? Again, next week, if you guys are able to come on, we'll talk more about the trade deadline because it'll be think it'll be the last Lakerholics show before the trade deadline. So it'd be interesting to see. So, Michael, any last thoughts on the road trip or trades or the Lakers or
Well,
juicy ESPN
the road,
articles before we head on out?
the road trip, I kind of agree with Jamie on it. Yeah, if we can come in with a couple wins over 500 on it, I'm happy with that. It really, to me, I really want to see what this team can do when they have everybody. I mean, we just haven't had everybody. I'm not saying that we're going to win a championship, but I think we can be a top 4 seed if we just have everybody. You know,
better than we've been the last 2 weeks. That's for sure.
You know, I mean, we've had like 20 different starting lineups so far this year. Yeah, and it's just ridiculous. So, the road trip, you know, like I said, if we're down less than 15 at halftime, we'll win. And if we're over, if we're down more than 15 at halftime, we'll lose. You know, that's basically the way they've been playing, right?
Oh man.
So yeah, for some reason we can't. For some reason we don't play defense in the first half. You know, so if we could, God, can you imagine if we played defense in the first half? My goodness, we'd be a good team.
Our job in the first half seems to be to allow the other team to get so hot and make so many shots that they won't make them in the second half.
Yeah, that they get complacent. That's what it is. We'll make them complacent. We'll make them feel that they have it in the bag, and then we'll start to play. You know, so as far as trades, I've already given my 2 cents on that. I think they'll do everything they can to try to pull something off. I just don't know what the moods are out there for them to do it. But not unless they can secure a couple more first rounders. That's it for me on that.
All right, Tom, any last thoughts, my friend, before we head on out?
I think it's just incredible how a long history of Jeannie Buss being in charge and Rob Pelinka being in charge of the front office can affect the minds of not only everybody on this, that even me. I mean, even I have this horrible bad taste in my mouth that we're going to not do anything. It's going to be a complete gap year, and it's going to be more of the same, kicking the can down the road, and more disappointment and comments from Rob about you can't buy a house if it's not for sale and stuff. I just want to remind everybody, look at what the Dodgers are doing. That's what we're going to see before the trade deadline. Period.
Okay.
I mean, I believe that Mark Walters was willing to just spend $5 billion in luxury taxes. I don't think that we're going to do that. I will say that
he's Tom's friend. Remember, you said you have him on the line, the phone line. You said
sure, right? Yeah, right there. He's on speed dial. No, I mean, listen. I think that there's 2 ways to look at the gap year. One is it's a transitionary period, and we're going to load up on draft picks in the summer. We'll have what one could consider a decent supply of picks to work with moving forward after the season ends. There's that line of thinking. There's also the line of thinking of adding to that by trading one or two of those ones that are pretty far out for ones that are closer to the present. And I love that. I love that idea. I think that is an idea the Lakers should pursue as aggressively as any player they think fits on the roster, because draft picks are the grease that makes things move in the NBA. Whether you believe it or not, it's just the way you pay to play now. To get in the game, it's like Texas Hold'em. You got to put the ante in before you even show up at the table. Like, it's just that's how the game works now. And you can thank Danny Ainge for that because of the stupid Gobert trade, which is just still the worst thing that's ever happened to the league, in my opinion. Just that whole trade was just nonsensical to me, but whatever. It's over. It's too late. I would love for us to move Hachimura or Vincent or both. I just don't see it happening for something that's much of an improvement. It'll be a lateral move. I don't think it'll get us one of these guys that we really want. I think it'll be like another expiring player maybe that we hope fits better, and we're going to try him out for a couple of months. And honestly, that would be fine too. Like, that would be fine. it wouldn't be a monumental, oh my God, look what the Lakers did like last summer. But you can only get so many of those every 5 years, 6 years anyway. So a lateral move at the deadline wouldn't even be the worst thing, because it would show me at least that they're trying, which I think is important.
But we don't have to worry about that anymore, because they are trying now. We know that for sure. It may not be Rob trying, but Mark Walter and those Dodgers.
We'll see. We'll see. The track record so far is unestablished.
We've just been polluted with too many years of frustration.
The ownership, the new ownership it's got a blank slate right now. So they've got nowhere to go but wherever they go. It could go up, it could go down. We'll see. We don't know yet. But my hope is that they can find some way to move one of the 3 expiring guys. Connect, Vincent. Nobody with a player option. We're not going to trade Smart. We're not going to trade Ayton. Anybody like, oh, let's trade Ayton. Nobody wants DeAndre Ayton. He had a chance to get everybody had a chance at DeAndre Ayton. Nobody wanted him. Everybody had a shot.
Well, so that's not true. That's not true. We were the only ones willing to pay $8 million, and nobody was willing to pay more than $8 million for it.
This is my point. Everybody had a shot. everybody had the door was open. Anybody could walk through.
If we didn't want him, somebody would have taken him for 4 or 5.
Well, I doubt he plays. I think he just goes home to the Bahamas and eats coconuts or whatever he does in the off season. But my point is this: is that all of these things are. This is not the year for the Lakers to make the move that they made last season, because we don't have the pieces to make that move on hand right now. Can we do some things before February 5th to make that happen? My hope is yes. My expectation is low, because a lot of things. Nobody likes Rob.
Pelinka and Jeannie Buss.
No, well, I mean, I don't know about Jeannie. I think it's more Rob. I don't think anybody likes Rob, and I don't think anybody likes Lakers. And I guess
I blame Jeannie for not vetoing
But there's a guy out there. There's a guy out there everybody likes, and he's a great GM. His name is Bob Myers. And if Mark Walters has got any kind of sense to him, that's the guy he'll go after this summer and say, what do you need for you to come here and do your job?
God, Jamie, how can we be in agreement all the time now? What's going on?
I'm just saying, this is the only move that makes sense right now. It is the only move that makes sense right now.
I would support that 100%.
And bring in Bob. Fire Rob, bring in Bob. It's got a nice ring to it. It all just like makes perfect sense.
Let's make a bunch of signs and we'll go to Minneapolis.
Let's talk about Minneapolis for a second. Since you brought it up.
Tim Conley would be a great replacement for Rob Pelinka.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, I just want to end with, as long as our government is shooting people in the face, none of this matters, and we should all be better towards one another. And I'm going to just leave it right there.
Good. Well said. That is well said, my friend. Yes,
Buckeyes.
It'd be great if we could only be better to each other. Indeed. Tom, maybe they're being better to each other.
Freedom.
Buckeyes.
For freedom. That's the way I look at it.
Arden Kim, before we head out, thank you so much for the super chat.
Yeah, man.
LakerTom, where you been? Missed you. I missed you and Michael. So missed seeing you guys on the show. So great to have you back. Hopefully you guys with L Rob can be back. Got to get all 4 of you lined up at the same place, the same time in space. So you can
no, Michael and L Rob are the same person. They're never on the show together.
But
that's not true either. They've been on the show a bunch of times. I'm just
for more of this banter.
One's in Detroit and one's in Honolulu.
That's right.
Yes, I could tell which one is the
polar opposites, literally.
Right now. Yes, with that weather, that's for sure. But if you guys want more of this great banter, please stop by Lakerholics.com. They got a lot of great information, great articles, opinions. Go back and forth. Always a good time when you stop by Lakerholics.com. Truly appreciate the great work that these guys do every single day at Lakerholics.com. But again, the Lakers, they head to Dallas. The game, as of now, is still going on due to the inclement weather. It's still touch and go.
What are the odds?
I mean, they announced yesterday that they're going to do it, so I'm saying it's.
But what are the odds? Who's the favorite?
Oh, Lakers.
The Lakers are still favored because of
they're slight favorites.
Yeah,
even though if Mavs are on a 4-game winning streak right now, they're playing well. So
I do believe the chat said that shoot around was canceled, so I'm not surprised if that's the case. But
it'll be a rough shooting game for the first half.
Yes, absolutely indeed. But it is of course Lakerholics.com. Please
plays right into our strategy.
Well, I hope we have a strategy. That'd be nice. Change for once. But
It's the it's the Muhammad
They'll
Ali
make
rope
all of
dope
the threes
strategy.
in the first quarter, and they'll get so cocky that they'll never
That's
make
right.
any in the rest of the game.
yeah,
Lakers are
got you.
taking rope-a-dope to a new level, folks.
I
Rope-a-dope
got
to a
you
new
right
level.
where I want you. Exactly, indeed. But it is, of course, Michael Heinrich, Jamie Sweet, and LakerTom, 3 great parts of Lakerholics.com. Want to go ahead and thank you so much for listening. Be back tonight for our post game after the Dallas Mavericks game. So go ahead and be there with us because we provide you all the great info that you need to know on the LA Lakers at Lakerholics.com. And of course, right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast. And on behalf of everyone, have yourself a great Lakers weekend and aloha.
Aloha.
Yeah.